Ready?
Hello and welcome to Rhythm and Pixels, video game music podcast. This is the chat. Welcome to Rhythm and Pixels chat. Sorry, man. It's been a week. Been a week for me. I am Rob Nichols. That's Pernell, and we were just chatting about Castlevania.
Well, loosely, because
Hold on loosely, but don't let go. Simon Belmont is gonna go.
I guess he would.
Pernell's over there. He's gonna go.
Go where? I'm seated. I think the best part
Hold
is
on loosely. I don't know the name. I could look it up. I'm not going to. The band. It's classic rock.
I'll have to look it up later because I think that's the funny part there is that I have to dissect two levels of that because I don't know the song that it's originally related to. But yeah, we were talking about Castlevania for reasons that you'll know later. But in addition to that part, I referenced and mentioned to him that he apparently announced a new Castlevania as of the day of this recording called Belmont's Curse.
Belmont's Curse.
So
is this for the Game Boy? GameCube? GameCube.
Yes, it is now.
Okay.
Effective immediately. It's for the GameCube. It's also on the DOS, MS-DOS.
It's DOS 3.1?
No, 2.1.
Oh, I'd have to downgrade my DOS.
That's right. They want you to get real authentic. But the reason why I think it's particularly interesting, most people are just going, oh, wow, new Castlevania, yay. And in my mind, I'm thinking, this should be interesting to see because there has not been a new Castlevania.
What was that one I was playing a while back that was not Castlevania? You know, but it was that lady who had all the sword. Bloodstain. I was playing Bloodstain. That was probably the closest we've gotten to a new Castlevania in a while, right?
Yep, and it actually had the Iga involved, so that makes it authentic.
Right.
But as far as a game with the Castlevania name, that isn't actually. I think even including Harmony of Despair, which was that weird multiplayer one they did on Xbox.
Oh yeah, that was. I remember trying to play that, and then but the screen would zoom out when you had a lot of people, and then I couldn't see anything.
Yep, that was the game.
It was like unless you own an 80-inch TV, screw you.
Yeah, it was. And back then, 80 inches, unless you were getting one of those giant wall TVs with the tube in the back.
I am exaggerating though. I just.
No, you're not. It was actually very hard to see.
I've never owned a TV bigger than 42, and I feel like that's fine. That's good for me.
But there hasn't been a new Castlevania game in over 10 years. So the last one that I can recall that is not a collection or whatever is Lords of Shadow 2. And that came out, I bought that actually on I want to say PS3. Maybe PS4.
Wow.
But it's...
Yeah, you have the physical of that, or was that online?
I'm getting physical.
Well, yeah.
Unless it got a non-digital, unless it didn't get a physical component.
Pernell gets physical, but don't let go.
Media.
Anyway,
but
no, I'm sorry, but they did release those collections pretty recently.
But that doesn't count. That's just them milking their legacy.
No, but they tend to do that before they do to get interest and hype before they release a new thing. They released a bunch of classic Street Fighter collections before 6 came out.
So the question to that then is, where's the new Gradius?
Where is the new Gradius?
Where's
the Gradius, Bart? Where's the Gradius?
Nowhere to be found. That's where it is.
If you're keeping track of how many Simpsons...
there are a lot of them.
Simpsons references. That's the first one.
Well, don't give it away, though. That could have been the second one for all you know. They don't know that. Could be a secret to everybody.
I was thinking that was going to be my next supercut of Simpsons references. And I don't think I have that.
That would be a lot. You'd have to legitimately listen to an entire episode.
Yeah, that's too much. That's too much.
But yeah, but since that one came out, and it's even longer back if you want to look for a 2D Castlevania game. So you have to remember the fact that since Castlevania 2D disappeared into, the IP, Nexus.
Right.
Many other games have come along to take on that gameplay style, whether it's the traditional 2D side-scroller or the Metroidvania, God, stupid word, the Metroidvania component, to the point now where it makes me really wonder what they're going to bring to the table now. It can still be a fun game, yeah, but I'm not chomping at the bit to actually play it. It'll just be a game that when it happens, I guess I'll try it out.
Is that the line?
I don't. Yes.
Yeah. Again, you were talking into the back of the microphone.
And the benefit is that I'm very loud, so the microphone did not care.
That's exactly what happened.
But yeah, I'll be interested to see what it does, because I feel like that style has been done to death by so many other developers and so many different genre stylings, or not genre stylings, but like, theme stylings, that aside from the characters themselves, I do wonder what they're going to bring to the table, unless it's a really good production with some nice gimmick to the gameplay that makes it flourish.
Yeah, you're just like nervous that it's going to be like a nostalgia grab?
Oh, I'm not nervous. It's going to be a nostalgia grab. But the thing is, if the gameplay works, then it's a nostalgia grab that is also fun. So I'm just not excited for it so much as that I'll play it when it releases, and if it happens to be great, then that's cool. Whereas with Mega Man, which is kind of funny because Mega Man has had some contenders that came along the 8-bit style too.
What was the last one they made?
Was 11.
11. That wasn't 8-bit style. That was like normal. That was like current style. Yeah. Was that? I didn't get a chance to play that one. You liked it?
My only gripe was
that had the gear system, right?
Yeah. Which I never used because my brain didn't want to deal with all that. So for the most part, I just kind of played around with the idea of enjoying the levels for being as long as they were. I liked the Wily Castle, but it wasn't long enough. That was my main gripe with that game as a whole. Yeah. Other than that, I had no real issues with it.
I remember
I'm sorry, the music had some issues. It could have been better.
It could have been, but it wasn't bad. I liked it.
Yeah, it wasn't bad music. But with that said, despite the fact that there have been a few games here and there that tried to do Mega Man, whereas Castlevania style has been done well by others, I can't really say the same for Mega Man for the most part. There's like maybe one or two contenders over a long period of time that's like, this feels like a Mega Man game to the letter.
But you're right. Like, there's like in the indie space and in every like other like way, there's people out that are like, I love this style of game. They're not making it anymore. We're going to do it.
Yeah.
And we're going to innovate.
Yeah.
And do it in a way that people are going to enjoy. And so it's like, so now if Konami is like, okay, we're going to do another Castlevania, they have a higher bar.
They have to reach, yeah.
Because like just having the IP themselves doesn't mean anything if there's something already better out there. Like Bloodstain was pretty great.
Yes, it was.
So it's got to be better than Bloodstain.
Yeah. And I mean, the funny part is like Ender Magnolias, like there's just so many different Metroidvania style games though.
Yeah.
But we'll see what happens. But with Mega Man, they're back. I'm looking forward to whatever. It's not even called 12. They just gave it a subtitle now. But that comes out next year.
I was waiting for them to be like, it's like the Mortal Kombat series. It's actually just called Mega Man 2.
That would be hilarious.
It just like...
I mean, 9 may as well have been that. Or like, how about we take all the innovations we made and just cancel those?
It was was it the Xbox era where when they would reboot games or they would make a sequel, they would just call it just the name. If they just called it Mega Man.
Oh Christ, that would be so.
And then it'd be so hard to know which one was which.
I'm trying to think, what was a game that did that?
You know what I'm talking about, though, right?
Yeah, Bionic Commando did it.
Yeah,
but I'm trying to think of others that did the reboot with just using the name again. I'm sure they're out there. My brain's just mush. I'll
find them. I am, to the listeners, I have finally set up a emulation machine for myself, and I'm going through and populating it full of the games that I want. And so now I'm going through, and now I'm faced with a list of thousands and thousands of games, and I'm trying to remember which ones I want. Like, which ones did I like, and which ones have I been meaning to go back to? So, dear listeners, hop on the Discord and leave your recommendations for the PlayStation and the Dreamcast. And the N64, honestly.
Didn't you get everything up to that point, though? Like, NES counts?
Yeah, all of that stuff, too. Yeah. But I feel like I know what I want there. But I'm talking like PS1, PS2. Like, I just can't remember, you know?
Well, the hard part with recommendations there, too, and obviously it's subjective entirely, but it's the idea that me recommending a game that I liked quite a bit, I have to be mindful of, do I like it because I played it then and I have nostalgia goggles, therefore the absolute jank that it contains won't bother me,
right?
Versus a game that is, in my opinion, considered timeless. Like, say what you want, I think Alundra holds up right now.
Okay.
And you do not have to have played it back then to get it. a lunger works. It's hard as balls, but it works.
So like that's it. Like even if it as subjective as these recommendations will be, that's okay, because if the person recommending it is passionate enough about the recommendation, I'm going to give it a shot.
Oh, that's no quite about that. You'll give it a shot.
Yeah, but I want to give games a fair shot. Like I'm at the point now where it's like I haven't played games in a while, and I want to sink a little deeper into something.
So for context for the listeners here, there had been the time here and there where I'm like, hey Rob, you should try this game out. And Rob's like, yeah, I'll give it a shot. And he plays like, this ain't for me. This doesn't play very well. I'm like, I thought it played fine, but it was a scenario of like,
yeah, exactly.
It was old style jank issues.
But I'm
cool with.
We're also in a situation where I'm not putting real money down.
Oh, that's true. That's true. This is free 99.
Free 90.
The best way to go.
The 4-finger discount for now.
That's right.
Right. So, but yeah, that's where I'm at. So PS1 RPGs. There's many.
I think it's also kind of funny now I think about it too.
So that's where I'm at.
You're currently in the give me all your games. I'm going to start playing games hardcore now, and I'm the actual opposite.
No. I said I did say I'm gonna sink deep into games, but I'm not gonna play games hardcore. My deep into games is like I'm gonna give this game an hour, maybe 3 times.
For you, that's hardcore.
3 times this week that is hardcore.
That is hardcore for you. Like in my case, I still play stuff, but I've really fallen off hard. Like I have trouble motivating myself to play anymore. Like
really?
I'll still buy stuff, and if I got a review game, I'll play around with that.
You might just be like in and out. Like you're probably like watching shows and stuff now, right?
For odd reason, I watch a lot of King of the Hill now.
Like classic King of the Hill?
I've been watching it the entire run. I'm up to season 7.
I honestly haven't watched it since when it first came out. And when it first came out, it bounced off of me.
Watch it again. It works now.
And people are like, yeah, you guess you have to like either had to grow up in that area or like be from Texas to like kind of get it, like, to understand it. No,
that's a lie. I didn't watch it when I was a kid either. Well, I hate saying that because I think I was more like a teen, but still.
Yeah. That's another thing. We were like kind of late teens, and I was like, yeah, not my.
But I didn't care about it. Like I watched. The only thing I liked about the whole show was basically Boomhauer because he talked like a weirdo. Like, oh, ding dang oh. That was the whole shtick for me with that show. Was Boomhauer spoke funny, and he was also clearly like Mike Judge going, Tom Anderson from Beavis and Butthead, I can make a show about him, but give him a different name and a family. And that's pretty much what King of the Hill is.
Oh, that's right.
So I didn't care because I also didn't like Beavis and Butthead. So that didn't help. But now, for some reason, I'll watch an episode and I'm like, I kind of get it. Like, I'm old now. I get the idea of a working stiff. I can get the jokes about how he's like committed to a job that doesn't care about him for no reason.
Right.
And like the weird family dramas. And all the humor is starting to click for me despite me never living in Texas. I'm not white. I don't have any kids. And my friends are not incompetent. And I still very much enjoy and laugh at the jokes in the show. It just works. I don't know how else to put it.
All right, I'll have to give it a shot. So you're watching King of the Hill.
I'm watching King of the Hill. Aside from that, I think there are some other shows I've gone to and from but haven't settled in, like High Potential. I'm waiting for From to come back. And
there is a lot. The last season's coming out, right?
It might be 2. I've heard they could still potentially have a 5th season.
That's interesting. I thought there was the 5th season that was coming out.
Oh, no, 4.
Okay, all right, that's cool.
And apparently now it's got.
I gotta get back to that. I've been watching. Well, what's on my watch list is the new Star Trek. First of all, I think I missed a bunch of Star Trek of the. I don't remember what it's called anymore. But anyway, the new Starfleet Star Trek, where it's like cadets like going through training. I'm really excited about that one. I think it's a great world for them to explore.
Isn't that what Lower Decks was, except humor?
The Lower Decks was like, if you're like, if you watched a little bit of Star Trek before.
I know enough to know that there's a prime directive. There's a ship that flies through space.
But you see like the captain and like the commander and all of them. They're all doing stuff, right? But there's like hundreds of people on that ship. there's people on the lower decks who have to do the crappy jobs. And so this show follows them.
Okay, so they're not like new recruits or whatever.
No.
They're just employees.
They're just like the employees, but they're still going on weird adventures that just no one like really knows about. They just do their own thing.
And that's the weirdest thing about me when it comes to television, by the way.
Yeah.
I've taken to become the guy that likes shows that deal with menial crap.
Yeah.
And that's a good example of that. Like, I remember having the thought, and it became a show, which kills me because I didn't come up with it, but I thought of it well before I heard about the show. Like, what it would be like if there was a show where there were people who just managed the issues that come from superhero activities.
And there was a show.
And there was a show that did it.
It ran for about a season, and no one liked it.
By the time I learned it existed, it was already off there. I was like, well, this sucks.
Alan Tudyk was in it. Danny Pudi was in it.
So that's just, see, that to me is perfect.
So many, I think Ron Funches was in it. So many good, funny people were in that show, and it didn't take off.
Like superhero insurance.
Yeah, it was in the Marvel universe, and it was like they did insurance. Like they covered people, like if their house was destroyed because a monster fell into it, because Superman bumped into it, or something weird like that. Like, just it's awesome.
The person that's
awesome idea. I mean, it just I didn't watch it, so I can't attest to that.
A show about people who work at the dump.
Yes,
and just deal with all the trash that show up.
Yeah, that'd be
from
great.
The average citizen, and just the adventures they have dealing with people's garbage.
Yeah,
like I feel like that could be written well by a team of skilled writers.
The other shows on deck was another Marvel show. Is the new one Mr. Wonder Man?
Darnell told me it would be pretty good.
It looks the trailer looked awesome. I love that idea.
He's extremely picky when it comes to this stuff.
Oh yeah,
and I'm not going to go into like the levels of which he can be picky, but he liked it. He told me, he's like, I think you would love this show.
Okay, cool.
I was like, you like it? That might be worth me watching then.
Sir Ben Kingsley is in it, but that doesn't usually mean a lot because Sir Ben Kingsley has been in a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff. He doesn't say no to a lot of things.
And I have been picky about like new shows too. Admittedly, it doesn't help that I have trouble finding stuff. I think the last shows I really got into that were narrative were like Weak Hero Class and Death Games still.
Yeah, you were into those
K-dramas.
K-dramas, yeah. Like the crazy ones where it's like the moral dilemmas and life or death situation for high schoolers and stuff like that.
I want all that. I mean, the best way to put it's a weird thing too, because like, I don't know how it is with a lot of people, but I don't gravitate to a lot of certain types of shows because I don't feel like I connect in that level, which is weird to say that as you just mentioned. It was life and death shows. I don't really connect to that. I've not had a life and death scenario in quite some time.
Oh yeah, you're not going to connect to it personally, but it's going to intrigue you because it's an extreme situation.
Yeah, he said, she said, romance things, don't care. I cannot connect with that. A romance that gets throttled by a serial killer that kills somebody, and now you have to avenge them by finding the killer.
Yeah.
That's a narrative I can attach to. Or like heroic acts, people doing good deeds. That I can get into. But the typical like slice of life, oh my God, will they ask you? I don't know.
Yeah, I know. I can't get that. What we are watching, and I'm obsessed with, and I've been obsessed with. There was the Circle reality game show on Netflix, and I haven't watched that in a while, but the newest one is The Traitors. Have I told you about this one?
I know.
Holy moly. It's essentially Werewolf, but in a giant castle in Scotland, and they fly over like D-list celebrities and like reality TV stars who I don't know.
Skipped right over C.
I don't know any of them. Like, that's all I'm saying. I don't know any of them. Every once in a while there's somebody you know, but I don't know any of them.
Buggy bumpers.
And they have to do challenges during the day to earn money for the prize pot, but 3 of them are traitors, right? And so during the day they have to vote somebody out.
Traitors as in they'll try to throw games?
No, unfortunately no. There's things, the games are just to win money for the prize pot.
So how can you traitor?
Because during the day, first of all, there's like immunity things and they can win during the games. But during the day, they're all just hanging out and talking to each other. And so like they're all trying to figure out who's doing what. And then there's also like hidden things where like the people who are determined to be the traitors are like, well, you have to murder somebody, but in this one, you have to do it during the daytime and you have to like have someone like distract them, and so they can go and they have to find the picture off the wall, and they have to burn that picture. Like that's the only instruction they're given.
So the traders are burning people's photos, which is basically saying that you killed them if you burn.
No, that was just one of them. And then other times, like they'll be like, okay, well now at night, because it's like every game of werewolf. It starts out where like people are just like yelling at each other for no reason.
What a thing about,
and then like five people in, people are starting to be like, wait a minute. Yeah, that guy didn't look like he was sad when that person didn't come back to breakfast today.
Yeah, but that's the weird thing. And that would be what I'm missing with your descriptions. Like in Werewolf, despite that game not having many games, there's still the fact that they are... I guess that's where the voting comes in.
It's
like
all,
they can play the game completely straight.
Yeah.
Just knowing that in the end, they're like, well, someone's got to go. And we don't want it to be us. Well, that's literally
it. The thing is like what's interesting to me about... What's exciting to me about the show is they go to a round table where they all just freaking yell at each other and argue and accuse each other, and then someone gets voted off, and then everyone goes to bed, and then at night they all like wear it's super dramatic. They wear like robes and they go into a tower and they talk about who they're going to murder next.
Oh god,
it's so good.
And I think that's what Werewolf probably needed too, like a scenario where like the actual traders can discuss or something.
A little extra drama, yeah,
because like I think about games like that, like Blood on the Clock Tower even doesn't have it. Despite
but the bad guys, the traders though, they turn on each other.
Why?
Because they don't want to split the money.
Oh, geez. Greed wins again.
It's awesome. It's
like great. I'm splitting that money because I just want to get guaranteed cash.
A reality show that did do that, which came out ages ago, I think it was like late 90s, maybe early 2000s, was called The Mole.
I remember hearing about that.
And they did do a reboot of it, which was really good. But in that one, it's one person.
Morocco Mole.
One person's Morocco.
Took place in Morocco.
Was it Morocco?
No, I made that up. There's a character called Morocco Mole.
From what?
He was a Hanna-Barbera character.
Oh, I thought he sounded familiar. You're right. Morocco Mole. He had a fez.
Yeah. Morocco Mole.
Wow. That just brought back some crazy nostalgia memories.
There you go.
Anyway, but
in the house.
In that one, they were trying to find out who the mole is throughout the whole thing. And that mole is throwing the games.
That's what it needs.
And the more they lost, the more they could figure out. And so then at the end of like every night or every week, they were given tests of like, how well do they think they know who the mole is? But it wasn't like it's this person or that person. It was like the mole in this scenario was the fourth person to enter the car when y'all left this restaurant. And you have to remember all of these little details. It's fascinating.
See, and I might even have this game right now. I just need to get people to play it with me. But if that game that I have is not this game, there needs to be an actual tabletop game. And I'm not talking about freaking Among Us, where it is the trader scenario, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But you actively also are engaging in other activities with other people. It's not just you're going on the mission, air quotes, and then it just passes or fails. Like it needs to be you're doing an actual activity in the game.
Yes.
And you can either play it well or you can intentionally play incompetently and be like, oh, God, I guess I screwed up, guys.
So for our monthly game night, for game nights now, I want to do more like big social things that isn't just Blood on the Clock Tower.
That's it. That would be, it would take more time. But that, I had the idea. That would be freaking awesome. You do a mini game like Triathlon. It's like a couple of board games that run short amounts of time.
Oh.
And you make those scenarios where people have to team up at different times. And there's people that are intentionally trying to throw games for other players. And if they lose the game they're in, they secretly get points. And you have to find a way.
So it's like kind of like, it's a little bit like Pretense.
Yes.
Where you come in and you're given a role and you get and you can like knock people out if you make someone answer the phone or
exactly. But in the case of this game, it's like, okay, now you have to go play Trails. This is Team Trails, essentially. And we have to, it might take some work. You have to figure out how to make a game a team game. But essentially, it's Team Trails. You go out there and you're like, okay, well, make these decisions. Like, why is he making such bad choices? The obvious thing is that, which is hard because good choices are subjective in certain games. But the idea of being able to be like, having a guy be made to intentionally make bad choices while not being clearly obvious they're making bad choices in the game when they're in a teammate, working with a teammate.
Yeah.
That could be fun. And at the end, it's like, okay, at certain intervals, like, okay, do you want to change teammates? Like, do you want to accuse your teammate of being a traitor, throwing the game intentionally?
Right.
Or do you want to just give him another chance, or do you want to change teams entirely?
Yeah, I think that would be interesting. If we could coordinate that enough.
It would take work, but
it would take work
about it.
But the Discord for the thing is starting to grow, and I'm wondering if we could actually like organize that. That'd be kind of neat.
It would be a Saturday thing.
It would be a weekend thing for sure. I think it would be a weekend summer thing.
Yeah. But there's something I could see being pretty fun about that, and I can't think of another place that's done that before.
No, that would be fun. Yeah, I like that. It's like a multiple game challenge. Have you heard of 2 Rooms and a Boom?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's something I would like to try too.
Never played that though, but I've heard of it.
I've never played it. I've seen it, but I feel like for a large scale amount of people, like that would be ideal.
Mm-hmm. Like there's a lot of things that can be done with the tabletop space that I honestly think has not been engaged with. Yeah. But I think also a large part of how to make something like that work would be that there needs to be a way to get people to feel comfortable playing games they don't know. Because that's the big hurdle. A lot of people will show up to an event and they'll be like, well, I don't feel comfortable playing that. And it's not because of thematic issues or anything. It's literally, I don't want to look bad playing it. Or I want to do a bad job.
Yeah, I noticed that when people come into the game night, people who are more willing to but to try something new that I teach them is generally just couples.
Yep.
Because it's just 2 people.
And they know each other intimately.
And they already know each other, and so it's like they're okay learning together. But if a group of like 4 or 5, it's really rare that I can be like, hey, try this new thing. I think you're really going to like it.
I don't want to look bad in front of these strangers.
But nobody says that out loud.
They just think it.
People are definitely thinking. Yeah. So it's a tough thing to overcome because a lot of people who are into board games, like they think like, okay, well, if that person won, then they're smart, right? And so they wrap up intellect and smartness with...
I mean, I have that very problem.
With winning a board game. But the reality is that just because you won a board game doesn't mean you're smarter than everybody else.
Well, here's the thing. Like, I get that too. The idea, though, is that I will play... Anybody who knows me knows that I get upset when I lose games. And it's a problem that I need a therapist to fix. With that said, though, one thing I've gotten better at over the years is that same scenario where, like, if I'm playing a game with strangers, I've never played it before, I'm like, oh, crap. I'm going to do a terrible job. I'm going to look like an idiot. I will straight up sit down and go, well, first time playing this game, so I'm going to clearly suck.
Yeah.
And if I win, bonus. So I deflect immediately sitting down at the table, making a general snide indication that I expect to lose because I don't know the game.
Yeah.
And then I'm just having fun because, of course, I'm not going to win it.
Well, it's also like a social thing, too. It's not like... It's a social... situation where it's not like, oh, I feel bad because I feel like I'm dumb now. It's I feel bad because I think now all these people think that I'm dumb now. And I get that because when Roshni came to visit us last summer, when she was coming over a whole bunch, we were playing games. I had to get over that real fast because she's
a brain farm.
She's crazy smart and does all this math in her head and probability stuff. It's like her wheelhouse. So she was doing all this stuff that like I'd never seen before, and I just had to accept that she's not going to think any less of me. You know? But at the same time, it was like, okay, if we're playing something, I need to, which was every time she came over, because that's what we do. I needed to like kind of like not go into autopilot. I needed to like be working.
Oh yeah, because she's not going to let you go. She's not going to let you leave unscathed.
Yeah. And I didn't want her to walk away thinking like, oh, they're throwing it or this or that. You know, like, I wanted her to walk away being like, okay, this was fun. This was a challenge. But yeah. Anyway, I had to get over that real quick.
And something worth noting for people who are listening if they're at this point in the show is that we are discussing board games as opposed to video games. And I do believe there's an added element of that social frustration that comes from a board game that a video game generally doesn't have.
No, yeah.
Because when you're head-to-head in a video game, everyone's looking at the screen. And you're all inputting your moves at the same time, engaging to see who comes out on top when the whole thing's over. You'll get reaction sounds. And,
right.
Oh, I got you, as you turn away and look. I hope you heard that because I tipped off.
No, it worked.
But if you're playing a board game, generally, not always, but generally, you're taking turns. And when it's not your turn, you have the opportunity to either A, plan for your next turn, or B, stare at the people that are still taking their turns and just make them sweat or watch them sweat or antagonize them.
Or you're watching them make the decision, and you're like, in your brain, you're like, well, I think I know the decision I would want to make in that move, and here's the decision I want them to make. And so you're watching them very closely.
But if you're good with it from a social engineering perspective, which sometimes I am and sometimes I'm not, you're actively engaging with them while they're trying to make their choice.
Well, that's the thing. Like video games now are like, they call it couch co-op, and it's kind of rare. It's rare that it's included in new games, and it's rare that enough people are playing in the same room anymore. Where with board games, it's by its nature is you're all at the same table.
Yeah.
And I feel like, I haven't been playing video games in a while, but I've been playing a lot of board games because that's just what I enjoy doing.
Same here.
And now I have an outlet for it.
Well, that's for sure.
Yeah.
It actually find it interesting in that I started out going with that, and I was like, well, I don't have time to play again. I gotta work. And I'm like trying to open games, and I'm trying to check people in and stuff. And like the first or second night, I think you and Christy would play a game here, and I'm like, we can't play games, guys. We got to do the thing.
Yeah.
Then like I think about a third night, somebody was looking for somebody to play, and I was like, I'll fill the spot. So
it depends on how busy it is. As long as one person's watching the door for a while, or at least playing a game by the door, then it's fine. But like, man, at Brewworks North, past 2 times, or like the last time, really, it was like it's dead. No one's going through the snow.
Yep.
No one's gonna drive through.
And we still have snow from like almost going on 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, but were you able to park on the street in front of our house?
Barely.
Yeah, but you made it.
Yeah, but I almost didn't because I wasn't parallel parking on mounds of ice. And the one spot I did get, I'm sure I'm going to have a smashed window when I go back out. So I'm sure I stole someone's spot.
No, you'll be fine. Everyone out here is pretty cool.
We'll see about that.
Yeah, although someone did knock into our white car.
Exactly. My car is white.
It's like no wonder they did this. It blended in with the snow. But that was like the weekend of the storm.
Yeah, well, this time I might be lucky, but we'll see. But yeah, like I don't know, like tabletop games. I don't know what it is. Like I have a hard time. No, I do know what it is. I have a hard time choosing video games to play nowadays, and I've been kind of struggling with sitting on them, despite the fact that I clearly still like them because I'm still buying them. But I realize a large part of why board games are easier to get going is because by their nature, it's a social thing.
Yeah.
Like if I'm playing a board game, I'm engaging with multiple people that I may or may not want to spend time with, but ultimately I'm going to enjoy the spending time with them.
Yeah. And let's say an average game that you're enjoying that is maybe a little bit longer than others. 2-3 hours.
Oh,
maybe.
God. As of this weekend, no. My new one is 5.
Anyway, but like an average style game. Let's say it's like 2 hours, 3 hours.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's over. Mm-hmm. And then there's no credits. You're not playing for 90 hours and then waiting for the credits to roll. You had a wonderful experience for 2 to 3 hours.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's it.
And that's it.
And then that's it. And then you can like, hey, I finished this game. I didn't have to spend 90 hours and grinding and talking to all the high school students before I could finally get my persona and go through.
Yeah, I definitely like that when it works, but it doesn't come as naturally as it used to.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's why I'm like looking at RPGs and I'm like, maybe it'd be kind of fun to grind into a game for a little while, as long as it's the right one.
Save states will help with that, but I think you mentioned that earlier.
Yeah, it's really, I'm thinking, I was going back, I was replaying Final Fantasy VI on my iPhone. And I got pretty far through that, kind of hit a wall, needed a walkthrough to figure out where to go next because I took too long of a break. Never went back to it. So maybe I'll get back to it again.
I've been hyper nostalgic about Final Fantasy VI in the last 2 days, actually.
6 is great. It's so good.
Yes, it is.
It's really,
to
really
me,
good.
It's 4 and 6 are still my favorites.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how I feel about if it's because of nostalgia or if it's just what it is, but they are. And I say that as a guy who just had a conversation with a woman who told me, oh, I just played my first Final Fantasy was Final Fantasy 15. And I was like, well then, I can't recommend any other Final Fantasies to you, not because of any bias or nothing, so much as that I don't know how much of nostalgia is going to be tinting my view on them now.
Yeah,
if you're coming in from 15.
You want to go back and play 7? Remake?
Yeah, that's exactly. It's like maybe you want to play remake. I don't know if you want to play the original 7.
Play 10. Play 10. I love 10.
10 does work for a lot of people.
It's so good. It's so good. But yeah, we should probably wrap up a little bit. Yeah. Final Fantasy. The first one's 15.
Yeah, we're old, and I freaking hate it.
Ollie's first Final Fantasy is going to be 23.
Nah, they're going to reset this.
It's going to reset.
They're called Fresh Fantasies.
Yeah.
Fresh Fantasy 5.
Word.
Or New Fantasy, I guess is the most obvious transition. Final or no. New.
Neo Fantasy.
Neo Fantasy.
No, they're in it. It's FF. It's FF forever. That's what it is. All right, we'll see you next week.
Frito Fantasy.
Sponsored by Frito-Lay.
I would eat that game.
I eat that game too.
Flaming Hot Final Fantasy.
Oh, what's the mascot? It's not a cheetah. It's a chocobo. Not chocobo. It's a.
Well, Frito doesn't have. I guess the mascot of Final Fantasy is a chocobo, so it would just be like a red hot chocobo.
Flaming hot chocobo.
Yeah,
the chocobo on fire.
Pretty much. Hey, you can ride them through lava or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I like that.